So we're looking for the good of humanity. Allah will protect us from the negativity and the bad of humanity. Okay, I think that's enough for tonight. I don't want to overdo it. Did any of this stuff make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, now, this is where we're headed. This is the official policy. So when I get up in the morning, this is what I'm working on. Ramadan will be here maybe next week or something like that. Next week? This is what we'll be working on. When Ramadan is over, during Ramadan we'll try to raise funds so we can go out to California and get busy. When we do that, this is what we're doing. But this is our official workload. This is our policy right now. And all of this stuff around here, it'll fall into place. Yeah, we're not going to hurry up now. We'll do this, that, and that. So this might be, for staff or for anything, yeah. So, are there any questions, any comments? Any misapprehensions about all of this? Feel like we're taking a big chance?
Oh, brother said, military discipline is Islam without the screaming and the shouting. We can start with the boys and girls to men and women scouts. That would be loving enough. The brother said, military discipline is Islam without the screaming and the shouting. We can start with the boys and girls to men and women scouts. That should be loving enough. Basically with recruitment of people to manage these bases. He was saying we can start with the boys and girls to men and women scouts. I guess that's...
No, we've been thinking bigger than that. That's good what he's saying. We already did stuff like that. And we did a school here for 10 years or so. We had a school here, and all the children came out good. I mean, they are all in the Chief's super duper school right now or then graduated, and everybody that even came here, everybody is in Texas somewhere, we done already did one of those things. And remember the other thing too, that was our training. We didn't, for our school, I think we spent at least $500,000 out of the pocket. Nobody never come and said, thank you, this, that, and the kids got it. Who needs it, right? The kids, they got, hey man, and then they like school. Parents would punish them and tell them, if you don't straighten up, I'm not gonna let you go to school. I'm telling you, that's the truth. That's not what it was in my day. And at this time of day, you had to run them off. Y'all got to go home. Right? The kids liked the school. They liked going to school. Therefore, they can't miss because they like going to school, right? If you like going to school, you're going to be, let's say, you're going to be smart because you like doing that. Right? Okay. Now, but that question, we have to plan for bigger than 5 or 10 Negroes. 5 or 10 Negroes, stuff like that. We're going to do Islam, that's Islam. But we're going to do Islam on a grander scale, not this Islam and the black nationalist Islam, they want to do that for themselves, right? We want to do this for them. That's different. That's altogether different, right? If they want their people to learn more, they can come help in that. And they'll be getting all the blessings and training they need for entering the world. They'll be trained in psychology, sociology, organization, structure, management, leadership. All of that stuff comes with what we're talking about. It don't just fall off the vine. You got to hook it up. And so, are there any more comments?
No, that was it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Well, no, we have to. We have to get on out there, and that's a way to spread Islam too. Not only to the other people, but to have our people an opportunity to do good. Because most Muslims, they might do a little good if it's for them or their crew or something like that, but they're not running around. If they feed somebody, they got cameras, they got 50 cameras there. One plate, right? Tell the truth. This is just pitiful, right? One plate.
Especially now since everything is on the internet. You can put your good deeds on the internet and show everybody what you're doing. So yeah, that's true.
But I'm telling you, that's...
Socially acceptable?
So yeah, that's true.
It's one plate, two plates, something like that. Remember when we had the income, everybody, why are you coming here? You taking pictures for? You know. Why are you taking pictures? You wasn't here the other day, you ain't never here at Juma, you don't never show up, you know. And now, you're giving people a little chicken and you just can't stay away. And they probably put it on their thing to say, and hinted that this is what they give some charity so that we can do this. I don't know that. I know they wouldn't do that. But anyway,
I think what you just said though is important, even to the brother's question. We don't think big enough.
right.
You know, I mean, you ask, does this seem, too much, to bite off of? But it has to be. That's how you get big. It has to be something that's hard, hard to swallow. You gotta
The key to what you said was they used to have in the Jahiliyyah, they had big niggas and little niggas. They said so-and-so, oh, it's a little nigga there. He got a Cadillac and everything, nice clothes, he's a little nigga. But he thinks small. Oh, so-and-so, that's a big nigga there. Well, he wasn't really that big, but that's the way they got their categories. I'm telling you, we want to be big niggas just because we're thinking about it or want to do it. That means that that's what we want to do. So we already boy, Islam is slick. I'm telling you, you get the blessing right away, right? All I gotta do is fumble around like I want to do. Well, Allah knows that I ain't really trying. So, but if you, man, that's another thing that we have to be aware of too, that everybody that's involved with us is not going to be thinking like us. Some people, they bring you one carton of eggs, they want to steal 45 cartons, for themselves. All of that stuff. Because people are not, they're not educated to be selfless. See, they think you have to be selfish, that you get more by being selfish. It's actually the other way around. The more selfless you are, the more you get. Because whatever you would get, you don't even want it. You don't use it. You know what I mean? Doing good is, hey, anyway. So are there any more questions or comments? How does this military, so you looked on a thing and there's tons, so we wouldn't have no trouble at all hooking up military bases on
350.
350.
Right.
350. And you know what? We can fill them boys up. Imagine now, okay, it's bad now, but imagine when this dam bursts, all this money they send out to everybody, and they're setting it up like that so that the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. When things are bad, all the rich people now are saving their money. You know why? The big rich. So when this crash comes, they can buy up everything. That's how they do. They engineer the stuff because you build people up, give them everything they want, let them borrow, right? The rich is telling them, give it all away. So when they grow broke, the big rich get everything for 5 cents on the dollar. And they do that over and over again. Why do you think the super concentration of wealth and resources? How is it that less than 1% of the people own, I don't know, they tell different stories, 70%, 60%, 75% of the world's resources are owned by 1 or 2% of the people. That's somebody hooked that up. Okay, so alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, we could have, it's about that time, right? Okay. We could have a adhan.